Hello, welcome to my video. Today I am going to be making a card using a brand new product, Sunflower 3D Embossing Folder, and it is just gorgeous. It's one of the big embossing folders, so you've got lots of room where you can pick and choose where you want. If you're using a smaller piece, you can choose where you want to put your paper, and if you're using layers, you just grab another layer of something. That's the one that I just had handy. If you're doing, you can do 2 4 by 5 1/4 pieces of paper at one time. I just realized that a couple weeks ago. These are big enough to do that. So you can just put those in there, and definitely if you got smaller ones, you can put those in there. Run that through once and you've got 2 card fronts right there. And this folder is so pretty, you almost don't need anything else. And I'll show you a couple cards that I have. And I already have my piece pre-embossed, just so I don't have to bring my big machine in. And this is on Daffodil Delight, and my card base is going to be Timid Tiger, and I've got some Timid Tiger of the Designer Series paper stack right there, and then a piece of black to mat this on, just to get that to pop up. So beautiful this way, right? Do we all agree this is beautiful? I think it's pretty just the way it is. We're going to take the Timid Tiger, and we're going to get messy. I'm going to take this Timid Tiger ink pad, and I'm going to start with the end that's not this end where there's more of a lip. I'm going to do this other side and just drag it across, and I should have checked how moist my paper was, or my ink pad. And it's going to mostly go to the raised portions. This is the first time I've tried this color combo. So yeah, it's mostly, it did get a little bit on the not embossed parts, but that's probably just me being a little too heavy-handed with it. There, that just changes the whole look of it. And, well, there's the debossed side. I'm going to use that on a card soon too. But there you go. That is an easy way to transform this. And you could do that with just about any, you could do that with any embossing folder. You can also, to kind of get the same look, you could take your embossing folder and ink up. Like if you wanted the raised side up, you would, I think, ink this side. This would be the side that you, the one with the logo, I think, is the one that you want to ink up if you want the raised side up. But that's, then you have to take it to the sink and rinse it off. This can give you a different look, and I'll try that too. I'll do that on a card. So now I'm going to put this together, and I'm just going to use some of my multi-purpose glue. The green glue, liquid glue. I call it multiple things. The glue that gives you wiggle room is another way I put it. Let's just get that on there so it's got some good sticking points, and put that on my black. And see, it has a little bit of wiggle room, so if you don't get it on there straight, you can move it around and still not get it straight if you're like me. This probably still is not straight. And then I'm going to put that over, and then I'm just going to kind of rub over it so it turn it upside down so I don't get any ink on my fingers, like any more than I already probably have. And then we're going to take this piece of paper. It's just 5 1/4 by 4. my standard layer piece. Sometimes I go a little slightly bigger, but this time I just went 5 1/4 by 4. And then put that down. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to get adhesive on it and stick that down. And then I'm going to take some of my pre-cut. I have one out. So I have this more messages. It's one big stamp. I don't know if you've seen this, but it's one big stamp and it has all kinds of words on it. And then there's a die that's one die that cuts out all these labels, all these. Let's see if I can remember how this goes. Does it go like that? It goes like that. So you stamp it on a piece of paper and then you lay this down and you can cut all these words at one time. And then I take those words, I don't know where my baggie is. I take them and I put them in little baggies that had, you know, probably from paper pumpkin kits that had embellishments or something in them. And then I sort them out by, you know, cardstock color and ink color. And so then I have those and I just have to get those out and put them on. So now I'll put this on dimensionals. And add my sentiment. Kind of like right there. And then I'll use the 2025 to 2027 in color flat pearls in the Timid Tiger. And I think I'm going to put that one up there. And then the other bigger one, the medium-sized one there, and then I've got the smaller one over here. Kind of like that. There is a card that just changes the look by adding color. Well, then I was going to show you also, this was my sample piece. This is same color ink as cardstock, but then to get the sunflower centers a different color, I take my sponge dauber and ink it up on my ink pad and then just go over it. The color here is pecan pie. And now I'm using early espresso just to get that little bit darker look. And you've even got like 3 layers of color on there because it had the yellow and then the pecan pie. And now get just the highlights with the early espresso. That name is not coming to me today. I don't know why it's not coming to me, but I just had a hard time thinking of the early espresso color name. So there's that you can do, you know, so just same color ink, same color paper, you know, a lighter color paper, darker color ink. And I did the same thing. I have this one that's the same. It's Petal Pink and then Poppy Parade ink. Petal Pink cardstock, Poppy Parade ink. And then I did this one. This is Secret Sea ink or paper, and then white, the white ink pad, and all different looks. And I don't have another one that's just embossed, but yeah, there's so many things you can do with this. And I'm loving it. And it's perfect with just, and this one, I didn't even add embellishments, and I think it's great. That's your centerpiece. And very little stamping on this. But I did none today because I already had all of these all ready made. So there you go. A look at the new product in action, and I will hopefully be back next week. I have family coming into town, so I may not get posted next Tuesday, but I will try my best to get that done. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.